Hello there, Fairytale X here with another video, and this video is gonna be a little bit different compared to my previous ones, which have been focused on the characters' stories and the adventure they have been through so far, while this video is going to be focused on more a mechanic that we kind of misunderstood as we kind of homebrew it a little bit in this kind of game and made a character almost a god. To start this off, this is from a Swedish TTRPG called Drakar och Demoner, translated to Dragons and Demons, which is quite a bit different from Dungeons and Dragons, but I will be calling it DOD, so don't be confused it with D&D and stuff like that, because they are quite a bit different, these kind of games. And this was also the very first TTRPG I ever played, and it was almost 18 years ago, I think. It was quite a long time ago, actually. I was still in school and high school and all. And the thing with this game is that it's an Norse kind of like Viking fantasy setting, a really, really cool concept. Really, really loved it. And the story about this video, where we talk about this kind of like happening with the character becoming almost godlike, is about my second character. The very first one was a scholar. He's not really important. I barely remember him. I just remember my very first character was literally a nerd. And second character I made was a monk, which actually is not a real class in the game, but we kind of just homebrew it. Like it was nothing crazy or anything like that. It was just like, okay, you get these kind of skills and you do this and that. And this guy was named Gado. Actually, fun fact, I got the name Gado from the Gado in Bloody Roar. That was literally inspiration. Ironically, he's called Gado Wolf, and Gado in Bloody Roar was a lion, so that was, random funny facts. Bing! And the thing with DOD is that you have three groups of skills, which are core skills that is the very core of your character and what they do. There are about 4 or 5 of them, and so they're not yet super many, but they are very important for the character. Then you have work skills, aka skills that generally are for your kind of job. They're still very important, but often not as important as your core skill, which you generally focus on. And the third one is general skills, aka extra skills that you might add in because you felt like, yeah, I want my character to have play flute or dance and stuff like that, that they maybe not get from either core or work skills, because these are based around the job you pick. And the thing is that a core skill is the cheapest, and then the value increase in work skills and then general skills. So those core skills are the ones that are easiest to level up because they are the cheapest, So you understand probably that the core skills are those that you focus most on, that they're easiest to learn for you because they are the core of your character and your character's archetype and everything. So you really want to have like those skills on your core skills to be able to like utilize them the best. And this guy, Gado, turned out to be a little bit of a powerhouse in the end. And as we played, me, my friends, and my cousin were DM, we were still very new with TTRPG in general. We were still very excited. We were not afraid to try it out and all of that. And when everyone is literally a beginner, you are kind of like iffing with the rules a bit, like we don't really we just roll with it, we just having a good glad time, And then one day our DM came with a homebrew rule that would really change, well, not only Gado, but the world and setting we actually played in, because he thought it could be fun and just generally rewarding that every time you roll a perfect roll, Fun fact, in DoD, a perfect roll is actually 1. You want to roll as low as possible, unlike in D&D. So very first time I heard of D&D and you want to roll 20, I was like, what the fuck? Are you crazy? That's bad. It's kind of funny how the different systems are. But he thought, our DM, that by using this, it will increase the skill. However, depending on the cost of the skill, for example, if one skill costs 2, you need to roll 2 perfect rolls to increase that skill. Like, yeah, you've been really lucky and skillful and all that, so now you get a bonus before that. Yeah, sure, that was fine, you know. The problem is that Gado was an Shaolin monk wannabe, pretty much. So one of his core skills was fighting. Fighting, aka slash brawling, aka you using your fists and your legs and your body to inflict harm. In a core skill, that costs 1. So every time I rolled 1, I would increase that skill. And the thing is, in DoD, legendary skill, a legendary, we talk literally legendary people, is 18 to 20. If you have in that range, you are a legend. Your character is a legendary in that skill. In the end of our DoD adventures, many years ago now, Gado had 62 in fighting, in brawling. 62. That is more than 3 times the normal legendary. And the higher skills you have in a weapon skill, aka like fighting, swords, spears, or whatnot, you get points to spend on like how you want to fight. You can put more points on attacking, so you can or put points in defense. With this much in fighting, Gado could literally punch through armor, no problem at all. He literally punched a legit Hydra, to death in one round because he just had 5 attacks and just slammed this motherfucking Hydra to death. And in the end, he was so powerful that pretty much nothing could actually stop him or fight him. Even when the DM really, one of the DM, because we switched DMs after a while, because we want to try out. Even then, they tried you're supposed to be in prison now and all that. But Gado was so OP, so insane with his fighting skill, that in the end, they couldn't really contain him without literally using divine interventions. And fun fact about that as well, reason why Gado started his journey was because he literally needed to save his god twice. And the story about that is that the order he's from is a very small, so it's a very weak god, because there are very few that believe in that god. And after that, he kind of you know what? I will be my own. He, not God, but he will not obey or follow any god any longer. Because if he's so strong, why does he need a god? And in the long run, this turned to so ridiculous when it was 62 in fighting, and we you know what? I think this rule kind of I think we should start with this rule. We all yeah. And Gado kind of faded away. I started to play other characters because he was an interesting character. I did a lot with him. I wrote a lot. However, when he became so OP, it kind of took away about the challenges, So it was hard to even play him because he was broken in so many ways. Not only that the character itself was very broken and edgy, the game mechanics became completely broken, and he was almost like a godhood because there was literally nothing that could touch him. And there's many adventures about him, which I will make videos about in the future, because there are lots of them, and I played him rigorously for a very long time. And he became a quite favorite for me for a long time. Not so much these days. Now I can look back and see this character sheet because I still have these. AKA these, I mean, I needed to rewrite because, when you kind of erase, it kind of ruined the paper after a while. And seeing this, like, wow, this is kind of crazy. Came very far. And sometimes a homebrew rule can be something nice, adding a little bit nice bonus, stuff like that. Or, if not carefully, it can make a character so broken that he can punch an Hydra in one round to death and literally like fight demons with his bare fist. So, yeah, very crazy character, and in general, just overall bonkers. I did see this character sheet just a few weeks ago, and I decided, you know what, I will make a video about this. How one little homebrew rule made a character insanely OP, and in general, just broken. And it really fun to check out his old character sheet and stuff like that. I still have everything about this. Oh, also, fun fact, he lost his right arm 3 times and his left arm 2 times. Got reattached by healers. That is something to know about. Ah well, that will be for now of this video. And if you want to take something out of this video, just be careful when playing and adding homebrew rules, because they can easily just go haywire and go out of control. And of course, to our defense, we were still very young and very, very new with TTRPG in general, so it's kind of what happened. Today, we're a little bit better players at least, so we learn with our mistakes. So thank everyone for listening. I will be back with some more character stories later on, so see you later.